Hello folks, and welcome back to another video where today I have got this, the Porsche Cayman T. I've had it on test for the last 6 days now. I've covered nearly 1,000 miles in it, and I've been known for being a bit of a Cayman aficionado. I've owned 4 of the damn things, and I thought, well, if the opportunity came up to test something like this, why not? This is the T version, and obviously the T stands for touring, and I drove a Carrera T, which, if I'm honest, wasn't quite fond of too much. You can check that video somewhere up there. Anyway, this car costs £57,904, and basically it's meant to be the purest form of a standard entry-level Cayman 718. So the entry-level version of this car has a 2-litre flat-4 boxer engine. This car makes slightly more horsepower, 297 horsepower. You get a few special bits, i.e. the interior has got a different sort of upholstery design to it, as well as door straps on the side. You get a sticker going down the side that says 718 Cayman T, and a few other little bits as well too, different design wheels. So this being a T, you get the adaptive PASM dampers, which is 20mm lowering springs as well too. You also get a torque vectoring limited slip differential as standard. You kind of get a few goodie bits that you would have had to spend thousands if you was to spec a normal Cayman, but you get it as standard in this, which is quite handy, and you save a few quid. Let's talk about the way this car drives. It's a Porsche after all, so you'd expect this to drive really well, and the answer is yes, it does. Even in conditions like this, which over the last sort of week started off as being really nice, really sunny, and then also it's turned into a February's day, but then that's what happens when you live in the UK. To live with, this car is definitely the best daily of a Cayman you can have. The engine's relatively quiet, you've got a decent hi-fi system. This one hasn't got the upgraded Bose sound system, but the standard Porsche one is actually very, very good. This car runs on PCM2, which is Porsche's sat-nav system with Apple CarPlay, which means you can run Waze, which is the best sat-nav system to anyone on earth. These seats are really easy, you know, they're the comfort spec ones. The seat position itself is really nice. This car also has a short shifter as part of the T, so changing gear is actually really nice. You can specify this with a PDK gearbox. I recommend not, because obviously this is meant to be the purest driver's Porsche Cayman, and why not have it with a proper 6-speed manual gearbox, because it's an absolute joy to use. Around town and just doing day-to-day life stuff, this is actually very nice to use. It's an easy car to drive, it's not too intimidating, the traction control looks after you in the wet, and there's a certain quality to it, a certain refinement that you just wouldn't get in, say, something like an Alpine A110 or a Lotus Elise or anything next to its rivals. Maybe an Audi TT, but let's be honest, an Audi TT is just a Golf in drag.
Speaking of VW Golfs, this video today is sponsored by Purple Prizes. Purple Prizes is the online giveaway website where they give away bikes, dream cars, dream holidays, and even dream cash. This week, they are giving away a 2016 VW Golf Mark 7R. Now, in case you guys don't know already, I love VW Golf Rs. They are just, well, they're just great at doing everything. They are basically a Golf GTI, but with more power and 4-wheel drive and an excellent chassis, and it could be yours if you purchase a ticket for £9.99. You can get a 20% discount if you follow the links down below in the description for you to win a VW Golf Mark 7R.
Then I started driving it on some B roads around the Cotswolds, then started driving it on some B roads that I know near where I live in Essex, and then I come to some flaws with this car. First off is the engine, the 2-litre flat-4. I know this car's been given lots and lots of grief as opposed to the noise and the way it sounds, and the sound isn't great, if I'm honest with you. Even this car specified with the sports exhaust, it's just not it's not an exciting soundtrack in my opinion. It's just not encouraging enough, and a car like this needs to feel special. It needs to have an expensive soundtrack, and this doesn't have it. The problem with this motor is power delivery. There's not really much happening until you get past 3,000 RPM, and the engine actually wants to sing all the way up to the red line, which is really, really nice, and makes this car feel very naturally aspirated like. Not a problem, but like all Caymans, they have long gearing, and unfortunately, first to second gear, depending on what corners you come out of, you're never really quite in the power band. Some might say that it's quite nice because that means you get to stir the gear lever a little bit more and change gear quite often, which I suppose I can give in that respect. But coming out of tight, twisty corners, and when you've got someone saying a Fiesta ST catapulting down the road, and you're there struggling to get the boost going, there's a problem. And around town, in normal mode, it slightly exaggerates it a little bit more. Which brings me on to the driving mode setting. So obviously all modern day Porsches has this little switch down the right, a bit like a Malatino like you get on Ferrari, and you've got the normal, the sport and the sport plus. You actually need to put this car in sport plus all the time to help with the throttle response. Otherwise you just get lots and lots of unnecessary lag. But when you do get it in the right power band and enjoy it, there is something quite nice and quite pure to the way the Cayman drives. But let's be honest, all Caymans drive really, really well. The steering in this is absolutely lovely. You know exactly what's going on with the front end. There's a bit of adjustability in the car, you know, coming into a corner, you can trail in on the brake, put a little bit more weight over the nose. The car is friendly and easy to use and easy to drive. And, you know, there is a certain joy. The suspension as well, you know, the damping, there's so much quality to it in the sense of how it goes over bumps. It just feels really nice, especially with the PASM setup. I never ever use the button to actually stiffen up the dampers because it's just not necessary on the public road. In fact, driving it is really nice. All Caymans are great to drive, but I'm struggling to understand the Cayman T, if I'm very honest with you, because this car costs nearly 58 grand. And let's be honest, a lot of people nowadays buy cars through finance. So for the sake of, let's be honest, 250, 300 pounds, why not just get yourself a 718 Cayman GTS, which now has the 4-litre flat 6 that you find in the 718 GT4, and you get all the best bits as well too. You get the PASM, it's very easy to use, it's very nice as a daily. Okay, it's a whopping few £1,000s more. I think the starting price of one of them is 65 grand, but me, I'll be honest with you, this motor, this 2-litre engine, it's frustrating. This car's been annoying me because I know the potential of what this chassis has in terms of like power and what you want. Actually, that brings me on to another question. Forget the 718 GTS with the 4-litre. For a few hundred quid more, you could just get yourself a 2.5 Cayman S. Now, obviously, you still get that boring flat 4 soundtrack, which is nowhere near as glorious to sound as a flat 6, but you don't get any of that lag. Let's talk about the T brand, because when I drove a 9912 Carrera T, I couldn't quite understand where they were going in terms of T and making cars a little bit pure and a little bit lighter, because obviously you don't save any weight driving this, say, to a normal 718 Cayman. I suppose aesthetically you do get a couple of special bits, i.e. the stickers down the side and, you know, different kind of wheels, etc. But a Cayman is a Cayman at the end of the day. You know, it's a very special, compelling car, and this car finished with this lovely Miami blue paint, which is a 1,658 quid option, by the way. It's quite nice. It's a compelling package. It does look really cool. It's a special car to look at and to be in, and you do get a few stairs, which a lot of people when they buy sports cars want that. Someone like me who actually wants a car that's interesting and fun to drive, which this does deliver, but with the mismatched power delivery with almost old-fashioned, old-school turbo lag, which, if I'm honest, with the traction control off, can catch you out a little bit, is somewhat annoying. But if this was your first Porsche, I reckon you would be absolutely pleased. If you've never driven any other car else and you got into one of these, I reckon you'd be absolutely pleased. But for me, my recommendation is go buy the previous 981 GTS, or save a little bit more cash and get yourselves a new Cayman GTS with a flat 6. I'm sorry, Porsche, 718 Cayman T, oh, it's not the one for me. Sorry, absolutely sorry. But anyway, that brings me up to the end of this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed my honesty about this Porsche Cayman T. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Have I gone a bit too harsh with this car? Do you agree with me with what I've said? You know, what other car would you have in this price point? Don't mention the Audi TT, because that is not a rival to this car one bit. Would you have the Alpine A110S over this? Let me know. Also, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon to check out for more content like this. And also, if you're an owner out there and you have a car that you think I would be interested in reviewing, then please contact me via email, contact@sidnorth@gmail.com, or DM me or follow me on Instagram @sid.north. Until next time, guys, see you later.